Hi, hello, this is Cool Lectables, and today I'd like to talk to you about my pen collection. I'd also like to show you a few of my recent Pokemon pickups, but before we start that, if you could please subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you'll stay and check out the rest of my content. Thank you so much, and let's get into it. So first I want to start with my pickups. I traded for this power bouncer ball. It's a Dragonite kind of bouncy ball. If you grew up in the 90s or maybe early 2000s, I think you know what this is. You probably played with it on the playground. So this is a sealed one, Dragonite. They're very cheap, very affordable. They kind of yellow, which you're seeing on this, or at least they get kind of murky, milky color. So some that are more pristine, those can be more valuable, especially the Charizard. But as far as that one, very cheap. The other card I picked up is this PSA 10 Mimikyu, the VMAX. I graded my own. I got a 9, so I'll be selling that to kind of recoup some of the trade value for that one. And yeah, that's another 10 out of my Mimikyu collection that is complete. And soon I'll be doing a Pokemon collection for that. But now we can get into the pens. I want to talk about, are luxury pens worth it or not? I have several Montblanc pens. I have a Cross pen and some other various ones that I enjoy. I will say that I'm kind of a fake pen fan. So excuse me if you were here for kind of a pen expert. I do love pens. I love luxury pens, but I'm not super knowledgeable. I don't use a fountain pen. I'm not super aware. There's tons of very popular kind of $100 budget ones, $1,000 budget ones, various ones like that. So I've kind of stuck almost exclusively to Montblanc, as you're going to see in these clips. So I'm not probably the best guy. I'm kind of talking out my other end on this one, but I have been using them since I was about 15 when I bought my very first one. So I'd like to kind of talk about that and how I kind of view luxury pens. So when I was 15, I walked into a Montblanc store thinking, I don't know, I was looking for a wallet maybe or something, not knowing it was like the super bougie, impractical store. But it was actually they were very nice, and I saw the pens and I loved drawing, kind of doodling. I wasn't super serious about it, trying to be an artist, but every time we were at restaurants, I would kind of doodle on the napkins. And if I went to a restaurant with a cool logo on the napkin, I would doodle on that. So that was kind of one of my, I don't know if I did it because at the tables, I would be kind of, ADHD in a way and over hyper. So that was kind of my way of settling in and kind of being able to sit there for a long time. But it was a fun hobby, and I probably doodled 200 napkins in my day. So that's kind of what started my liking pens. Not even luxury pens, just pens with cool logos on them or pens with cool designs. I always liked a pen that had a cool design. I was even kind of particular because I'm left-handed. So when I would draw with things, if you're not left-handed, you probably don't know this, but everything is kind of geared for right-handed people, including logos on pens, designs on pens, engravings, like cheaper pens that come pre-engraved with your initials or whatever. It's all right-handed. So if you're left-handed, you're seeing everything upside down. If there's a lion or a Pikachu on your pen, I'm seeing it upside down, whereas you're seeing it kind of normal. So I tried to find ones that that wasn't as big a deal, but sometimes I just made it work. Just got over it, right? So then I got my very first Montblanc. I saved up for a while. I was working this job called Picnic People, which was a catering company. I wasn't spending, the money you'd get for Christmas or birthdays. I kind of had saved up for basically a year, and I bought this one. So this is my very first Montblanc. I got it engraved, and it's a very cool design, and you have the star there. So again, I don't know a ton. I fell in love with this design, thought it was really cool with the kind of sapphire. It's synthetic and the platinum's plated. So that's maybe where we get into the discussion. Are luxury pens worth it? No, this pen doesn't necessarily write better than a normal one. It writes well. The ink's good. It's not perfect, especially the fine liner. I love the way that it writes. It's kind of like a felt tip pen, but it sure runs out of ink if you forget to cap it right away. Sometimes I'll get calls for work and etc. and kind of forget that it's uncapped, or go have lunch and then come back and then forget about it for an hour, and then, you know, the ink's kind of almost dried up at that point. So if anyone has tips on how not to, I don't know, how to revive your inks, I guess, once it's dried. I don't know if I'm out of luck when that happens, or if there's kind of a way to bring it back. But so that was my first Montblanc. I was kind of afraid to use it for a while. And then I kind of started using it occasionally at school, definitely as I went to college. And then in college, I picked up my second Montblanc. So that is this one. So there's the star, and it's hard to capture the light. I'll just post some clips of it. But this, like in natural sunlight, is one of the coolest looks ever, or in certain, the way the light hits it. But it's hard to replicate. I mean, if you take a photo, it just looks blue. But it's much more stunning than that in certain lighting. So I bought that on eBay. Thought it was great. It was seemingly pretty good deal under retail, but not like where it's suspicious. And yeah, I thought it was a great pen. I now had a 2-pen collection. I bought a case that was a 2-pen holder case, and I loved putting that in my, you know, bag for college. And I tried using them, but ultimately they kind of sat more than anything. Mainly I used a pen with 4 different colors, the Bic, and it's actually made in France, kind of ironically, but they're, you know, cheap $5 pen. But those were great because you could red ink things, you could circle things in different colors for your notes and whatnot. And for doodling, it was great because I could make a river blue and turn grass green and whatnot. Because all throughout college, I'd be doodling in the margins of my notes. So I wasn't really using it much. And then I went to law school, and I picked up my third luxury pen, and that was this one. So this is the 100-year anniversary. It actually has a diamond in it. So very cool. It's much thicker. These ones spin to kind of open it. Ballpoint right versus rollerball, which is this one, more of a rollerball. And once I bought this Star Walker, this blue one, I definitely learned that the ballpoint where you twist it was much better for me. It was quicker access. It didn't dry out as easily. It was more consistent. It wouldn't bleed as much, especially as a left-handed person. You know, write over your notes a lot, so they tend to smear, and you have to kind of be careful and get higher quality ink sometimes help as well. So that was kind of my 3-pen collection, and then it basically stopped for a long time. I didn't really pick up any more pens, at least not on my own. By the way, this one, the diamond one, I bought it on eBay. Again, someone's father passed away and they were selling it, allegedly. But it seemed legitimate. I mean, they weren't, I don't know. I spoke to them, you know, via messaging. It seemed kind of legitimate. I know there's a lot of fakes online now of these, but I don't remember a lot of fakes on eBay back then. I think the supply chain and everything has gotten very different nowadays. So yeah, so I wasn't really using it. I got more gifted to me. I got a cross gifted to me from my mother-in-law when I graduated college. Love that. It's just you pull off the cap. This one is really beautiful ink too. It writes really well for a pen that's significantly cheaper, but still, you know, kind of a luxury higher end. It's no Bic, you know, where you could get, you know, average $1 per pen. And then my aunt gifted me this Montblanc. So this is your very classic, I think it's Meisterstruck. So this is one of the most iconic pens, like, of all time. This is a very classic look, especially with the black and the gold. She actually bought this at Costco, if you're aware of what that is. And she didn't open it for 20 years. The ink wasn't great, but I just swapped that out, and this thing works fantastic. So that's kind of where we truly get into the discussion about luxury pens and what my thoughts are on them. This pen, I mean, will outlast me probably. Like, if I treat it well, if I, put it in a case, when I put it in my briefcase or travel with it, this pen could outlast me. Yeah, I'll have to buy new ink, but, something I can pass down to my kids. It holds memories. It holds value. I mean, it'll always be value somewhat, right? As long as Montblanc is alive and well. And even if they're not, maybe it becomes kind of more collectible anyways. So that's kind of the positive. As far as quality, yes, they're quality. I think you're going to see this way more on the fountain pen variety. I think quality is going to matter much more there than when you have roller balls and ballpoints. Because yes, the quality is higher. Yes, there's less creaking to it. There's no plastic because these are resin based. So you do have the quality there when using it. However, it is certainly not proportional. I mean, I would definitely equate it to like a watch, right? Like your Rolex, I mean, 10 grand for a Rolex or more, you sure as heck could buy a $100 watch or just use your cell phone. And it's actually more accurate than your Rolex, but the Rolex is jewelry. And the same thing with the Montblanc pens. I mean, it's kind of a flashy, right? It's kind of an accessory. It's a hype piece. It's a, hey, look at me flex. It doesn't have to be. I mean, if you're a pen enthusiast, if you're a handwriting enthusiast, and you just like using pens a lot, and I think I qualify a little bit into that. Definitely not with fountain pens, so most people would call me a poser. But a little bit, I fall into a little bit of that. I definitely, every time I look at it, I smile. Every time I use it, and I'm very intentional. And I'll get to how I use them nowadays. But I would think I fall into more the collector, but kind of a very not serious collector, I guess. But yeah, as far as like resale and stuff, I think there's not really a resale value. I'm sure there is for like super rare ones, like ones that they only make 100, or they collaborate with certain celebrities or historical figures. They'll make like a John F. Kennedy special edition one, and it'll be worth way more. I'm not knowledgeable enough to tell you about that market. I don't see much hype. I mean, I'm in a few pen groups on Facebook. My Rolex pages are and Pokemon pages are flying, a lot more. I think these are more like true hobbyists and kind of people that are into penmanship or people that just love to collect it. It's a pretty cool community, actually. You just got to be careful with the fakes nowadays, for sure. So the answer is the same as with the watch. It's cool to have. It's cool to put in your pocket or whip it out at court, as I've done many times. Even though I feel kind of awkward sometimes doing that, I don't want to be too show-offy, especially depending on who your client is. Sometimes you don't want to look as wealthy or prestigious, because then the jury brings it down on your client a lot harder, thinking they got more to give than they do. So yeah, but I think it's classy. You just go with the simple black one. People don't notice. I mean, it's like a watch, right? If you wear a watch, how many times have you actually gotten a compliment out? It's few and far between. I probably get more compliments on the pens, honestly, when I'm at work. Unfortunately, I do work from home, so the pen collection is kind of just to me, and that's where I'll talk about how I use them now. So like I said, I wasn't really using these pens. I was kind of afraid to, didn't really want to mess it up. But then I just kind of like a light switch went off, and I was like, well, why do I have them if I'm not using them? And I have like a good amount. I mean, to have 4 or 5 luxury pens, that's like, I should be using these, right? So I just made the conscious decision about a year and a half ago, probably, maybe even 2 years ago, to start using them. And I got like a wooden tray, and I put it right in front of me so I could look at them all day and be very intentional about which one I use. So I use a different one every day. I kind of cycle through all of them, and not necessarily in a very specific order. Sometimes it's more mood based, and that's kind of where I get into like, I think I am a legitimate pen person. I'm just not super knowledgeable, but yeah, I do intentionally select which one I'm going to use. It makes me happy to use it. The quality is good. It's reliable. It's there. If, I take one to court, I think, it makes me look professional. It makes me look put together. I think it looks a lot cleaner than like a plastic pen, especially as someone like young into my career. I don't know. At least I have the perception like people may take me more seriously with it, or like I'm not a pushover, that kind of feel. These are just, I don't know, thoughts. I don't know how serious they are. Maybe I'm a little crazy, but Yeah, I mean, I think you should buy a Montblanc pen or a Cross or another luxury pen? Absolutely. Have one. Have one really nice pen you sign important documents with, you sign checks with, you sign marriage certificates with, which I did. I brought, I think it was this one. I brought this one and I signed it, and I like to sign checks with them, and, you know, any important document. So yeah, I have a luxury pen, have one, unless you get the sickness and you like collecting them. I do like a few of the Montblancs I've seen that were for the Winter Olympics. It's kind of random, but there's a really cool like gray blue one, and then there's a really cool like, it's not salmon, it's like a coral red. They're really cool. They're kind of on my wants list, but my head's kind of too stuck in Pokemon and stuff like that right now. But one of those will be my future pickups, or at least maybe a newer, like if they come out one for the upcoming Olympics or something that looks cool, which they do every year. So yeah, my recommendation, don't go crazy on them, but pick up one and enjoy writing, enjoy collecting. And thank you all again. If you sat through this whole 16 minutes, I think you're a true fan as well. So if you could please hit the subscribe button, press like, I would really appreciate it. And hope you stick around. We'll keep collecting together. Thank you, and let me know in the comments if you have any pens and what your favorite pen is. Okay, bye y'all. Have a great night. Bye.